Hey y'all, this is Dave.
And this is Scott from Ten Ton Mojo, and you're listening to Talking About Rock.
All right, today's guests were conjured on the streets and on the stages and the studios of New York City. When bluesy Southern soul meets rock and roll, you get 10 Ton Mojo. They have captivated fans by creating an amazing musical energy and have provided live support for such bands as Kix, Molly Hatchet, Saving Abel, and John 5. Here to chat with us about their new EP, Rebel Heart Gypsy Soul, let's welcome Scott Lano and Dave Anthony from 10 Ton Mojo. Guys, how are you, man?
Hey, man, how are you? Thanks for having us.
Doing great, Rob. Thanks very much.
Yeah, definitely. So let's start with you, Scott. Tell us a little bit how this project came about.
Well, it started back in, mostly in, like you said, in the studios and clubs in New York City. A bunch of local musicians had a batch of tunes that we were writing at the time, and we got a bunch of guys together and kind of took on a life of its own. And then, like any other band, member changes, people in and out, and became 10 Ton Mojo. And we just had this kind of vibe and sound, and it was part of the New York City music scene, and it was just a really happening kind of situation for everybody involved.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the scene out there. So how has it changed out in New York City? Because I think it's always evolving. It's always a little bit different out in that area, right?
Yeah, well, you're spot on. It's always evolving. It's always changing. It's a big city, so not only is it rock and roll, it's dance music and everything. So
Just like food, you got all the entertainment you could possibly want in New York. It's a smorgasbord.
Yeah, you got all the stuff, but there's always bands popping up. We lost some iconic places like CBGB's, but we have Arlene's Grocery now, which is like the new CBGB's. It's live music every night and filled with local artists, doing their things and a lot of artists with something to say.
Very, very cool. So you guys are kind of described as a real rock and roll band. Can you elaborate on that a little bit and say what kind of describes you, what sums you up a little bit?
I mean, first, thank you very much. We love to be considered real rock and roll. I like the way you emphasized real. But I also like to say that, real rock and roll being, just from the heart, from the soul, kind of that old school value of music with a little bit of a new hard edge. We like to make sure that we're touching on that great 70s rock and roll, a little maybe tinge of the 90s kind of grunge. But, we like to keep it, where the grassroots of rock and roll, basically.
I mean, I think what we talked about the prior question about putting the band together, when we were playing with different people, it all came back to our roots. It all came back to like all the classic rock stuff that we liked. Guys would throw song titles out, we'd jam on them. And, it turns out that was the happy meeting place for everybody's influences were like right there. And, it wasn't even forced. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, it was definitely something that we all just kind of, without even mentioning anything, agreed upon.
Yeah, I can definitely get, hints of like a little bit of Skinner in there, a little bit of Molly Hatchet in there. I get those hints and those influences. So you guys can tell us about the latest single you guys got out now, Easy Come, Easy Go. Great track. Really, really digging that. Give us a little bit of background on that.
I mean, that one came about when we were doing our last EP. It was a riff that Christian brought in, and we just kind of gravitated around it. It's got that down home, kind of country feel, and we just added a little bit of rock to it. And it's about any other breakup you might have been through, right? Easy come, easy go.
Easy go, yeah, definitely. Very, very good track. So I was going through your catalog, some of your other stuff. So you guys released All Access Live in May 2025, which
Yep.
which really sounds great. I really digging them and checking it out. Would you say that captures the mojo of your live experience? Is that it? Are you guys happy with that product?
Absolutely happy with that product. That was an actual show we did right here in New York City at the Gramercy Theater. Pretty much sold out show for us. It was our record release party for Rebel Heart Gypsy Soul, which has Easy Come, Easy Go on it. And it was a hot night. The band was in prime condition. I think we were firing on all cylinders. So yeah, I would say that's we're very proud of that record.
Yeah, it was recorded very well, and it really does represent the band. I think to a T.
Yeah, and I think you guys had Sirius XM out there doing the intros for that as well, right? During the shows.
Yeah.
Were they streaming any of that or playing any of that over there?
Yeah. Jim Riccolo.
They've played it. They've played us over time. We've been on Outlaw Country and a couple of the other stations there, and we got some fans over there at Sirius Satellite Radio. Tommy London being one of them. We're going to be on our way to L.A. on May 21st. We're at the Viper Room doing a show. Tommy London from Sirius Satellite Radio is the promoter of the show and a friend of the band and somebody that we've worked with for years.
Very, very cool. Yeah, definitely. I catch his show when I can, for sure. Well, you guys have played with some well-known names. We mentioned them earlier during the show. Does either one of you have a bucket list or other performers you'd like to maybe perform with or collaborate with or anything like that? I'm sure some of that's kicking around in your thoughts, right?
Yeah, of course.
Endless bucket list.
Yeah, I mean, we admire bands like with Dirty Honey and Parker Barrow is a band we love playing with.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking like we said, we're into that new classic rock is what we like to call ourselves. So at the same time, we'd love to be playing with a lot of those bands, like like Black Crowes. I mean, to put a much a bigger emphasis on where it could go. But I would say that's definitely anybody really in that classic rock range of like ZZ Top. Although I don't know how many of them are actually left fully in the band at this point, but at the same time, it would still be an honor to play with any of them.
Yeah, I think it's just Billy at this point. Yeah,
we those bands we're huge fans, and we love to meet and play with those bands. We feel like we got a lot in common with them.
Definitely. So I have a question I'd like you both to answer here. So, with the music business, was there an aspect of the business that surprised you, or maybe you felt you were really not prepared for as much when you guys were getting into it? Was there anything that was, maybe a surprise or something that you weren't?
I mean, it's like any other, small business. You build it brick by brick, and there's, you advance and you retreat, and we just take it as it comes and try to make the best decisions we possibly can. I don't know if surprised is the right word, but
yeah,
disappointed would be a good word.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll say it's neither disappointing nor like sometimes you think that some song is going to be the bigger hit, and then another song turns out to be that bigger one. And I think that's sometimes a great surprise, that you kind of have when writing music.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, but I mean, we roll with it. We try to roll with it.
Yeah, because I talked to a lot of bands about that. Sometimes they don't always have their strategies planned out or what they want to do. So sometimes they're hit by things they weren't really prepared for. But like you're saying about the song, I hear that all the time from so many different artists and classic artists as well. When they they release these classic songs, we grew up listening to, and they were like, oh, I never thought that was going to be great. Like Ronnie Dio didn't want to release Rainbow in the Dark. He thought it sucked. He didn't want to put that out there, right? And it ends up being like the song that launches his album, pretty much, right?
Right. Great. Artists are very close to what they create, and sometimes it takes a different perspective to help you see what you're doing there.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you're in the studio, you have you're playing the song and it comes out, and then when it comes out recorded, you're like, wow, this really is a much better song than something like I know personally The Hurt, which became the B-side of Easy Come Easy Go. I mean, I prior to going into it, it was not one of my, kind of like you're saying with Ronnie James Dio, like I was not one of my favorite. Then it came out, we recorded it. I was like, damn, this is a banger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, those are like kind of what I was talking about earlier. Some of those surprises that you're not anticipating that are awesome.
Right. Definitely. So what's the plan going forward here? What do you guys got in the works? Can you tell us some next steps or what's happening?
Yeah, we're getting ready to go into the studio, do some recording. We plan on having a record out this year, getting back out on the road. Like I said, we're going to be at the Viper Room on May 21st out in LA. Kick off our summer of touring around the country. Right now, we got some stuff in the works. No real dates to announce yet, but very soon. And we'll be in the studio March and April, getting ready to put a new record out.
Okay. All right. If folks want more information about you guys, where should they go? Do you have a website or your socials? Where should they check you out?
Yeah, check us out on www.tentonmojo.com, and you can grab all the socials from there. Or you can find us on Facebook, Spotify under Ten Ton Mojo. We are basically everywhere. So we're not too hard to find.
Yeah, you can stream us on just about any streaming network. You can find us on just about any social network, like you said, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or I guess it's X now, whatever. But just about anywhere you can find music, you will find Ten Ton Mojo. Excellent.
We look for more dates coming out for you guys in the future. And the latest track, Easy Come, Easy Go, like we were saying, is streaming now. And also, you guys are you're going to be able to check out the video for that. We'll have the link on our website in the Hall of Video at talkingaboutrock.com for Easy Come, Easy Go from Ten Ton Mojo. All right. Guys, thank you so much for being with us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Rob.
Thank you very much, Rob. It's been a pleasure.
All right, so that wraps up our show. Thanks to my guests, Scott and Dave from Ten Ton Mojo. And to our listeners, we hope you're doing your part by keeping the torch alive and supporting live music wherever you are.